Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday night hymn sing. Robin and Andy and I are here. Robin will take your texts, and I think we're also monitoring the live stream too, eh?
Sure am, yeah.
So any requests you have from either More Voices or Voices United, do fire them along. So welcome to our hymn sing. Last Sunday, I was standing under the butterflies. I was trying to remember what it reminded me of. It reminds me a bit of a canopy, but it suddenly popped into my head just a couple of minutes ago. When I was growing up in northwestern Ontario, we used to skate at night in an outdoor rink, and they would flood a park that wasn't far from where we lived, and they would string all kinds of lights above us, and so we'd skate under these lights, and that's what this kind of reminds me of. I just kept having all this deja vu on Sunday, and finally realized where that's from. So it's lovely to stand under this canopy of butterflies and be surrounded by butterflies, symbols of transformation. So we're going to start with
number seven
seven.
More Voices, excuse me. Number 7, Gather Us In, and we'll sing it a number of times.
Okay.
Probably 3 or 4. Oh, we have a request.
We do? Okay.
We sure do. Number 12 in More Voices.
12.
Come touch our hearts.
Good.
And bless our souls. Come touch us. and wisdom, come touch and bless our minds. Come touch us in the moments we are fragile, and in our weakness your great strength reveal, that we may rise to follow and to serve, to steady now on earth. Come touch and bless our lives. Come touch us now, the people who are gathered, to break the bread and share the cup of peace, that we may love you with our heart, our soul, our mind, our strength, our all. Come touch us with your grace.
Thank you, Christine.
This would be a good time for that. I got a little reading
Great.
and then a prayer at the end. But this reading is thanks to Peter Miller of the Iona community, former warden of the Iona community, and now writes inspirational letters each week and sends them out on the internet. So this week he quoted Václav Havel, who was the first Czech president, I think after the Iron Curtain fell back in 1989. And Peter Miller writes this little introduction. The flux and flow of human history often takes surprising turns. And Václav Havel's words of hope as a dimension of our souls are words for today. This is what Václav Havel wrote. Either we have hope within us or we don't. It is a dimension of the soul and is not particularly dependent on some observation of the world. It transcends the world that is immediately experienced and is anchored somewhere beyond the horizons. Hope, in the deep and powerful sense, is not the same as joy, that things are going well, or willingness to invest in enterprise that are obviously headed for early success, but rather the ability to work for something because it is good, not just because it stands for a chance to succeed. Hope is definitely not the same as optimism. It is not the conviction that something will turn out well, but the certainty that something makes sense regardless of how it turns out. It is hope above all, which gives us the strength to live and continually try new things. I'd heard that quote before of Václav Havel about hope, and I love that last line. Hope above all, which gives us the strength to live and continuously try new things. We need to be doing that as human beings, to try new things with a sense of hope.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I never thought about the difference between hope and optimism, but they
Yeah.
are different.
They are.
Yeah.
I've always thought optimism is more about our own kind of wants and desires.
Yeah.
Hope is something bigger.
Yeah. Optimism is like, it's going to turn out well for this guy.
Yeah.
And we have another request from Judy Cameron
Okay.
for number 703 in Voices United. In the bulb, there is a flower. Oh, I love
Perfect.
this one.
Goes with hope.
Yeah. You guys are very good DJs. You're doing a really good job of choosing. All right.
Above there is a flower, in the seed an apple tree, in cocoons a hidden promise, butterflies will soon be free. In the cold and snow of winter, there's a spring that we see, unrevealed until its season, something God alone can see. There's a song in every seeking word and melody. There's a dawn in every darkness, bringing hope to you and me. From the past will come the future, what it holds a mystery, unrevealed until its season, something God alone can see. In our end is our beginning, in our time infinity. In our doubt there is believing, in our life eternity. In our death our resurrection, at the last a victory, unrevealed until its season, something God alone can see.
It's a nice one.
Yeah, it's lovely with butterflies and hope and everything all mixed in. I mean, that's what butterflies are kind of symbolic of, is hope.
Yeah. Don't know why we would be thinking about butterflies at this time. Oh, and we have a request from Liz.
Great.
Now, do you remember the number of In the Quiet Curve of Evening? Because that is what she has requested.
Is it 278, is it?
Possibly. I know it has an 8 in it.
278.
Oh,
And
yes.
Voices United.
All right.
In the quiet curve of evening, in the stinging of the days, in the silky void of darkness, you are there. In the lapses of my breathing, in the space between my rays, in the greater cause my sadness, you are there. You are there. You are there. You are there. In the rest between the phrases, in the cracks between the stars, in the gaps between the meaning, you are there. In the melting down of endings, in the cooling of the sun, in the solstice of the winter, you are there. You are there. You are there. You are there. In the mystery of my hungers, in the silence of my rooms, in the cloud of my unknowing, you are there. In the empty cave of grieving, in the desert of my seas, in the tunnel of my sorrows, you are there. You are there. You are there. You are there.
Very nice.
Yeah, I love that one. Thanks, Liz.
And we have a request for number 372. Which hilariously, Lynn, you always do this. You pick a one I already picked. 372 in Voices United, Though I May Speak.
swallowed my water wrong.
Oh no! Hang on, we have a coughing situation, technical difficulties. Dave and I were saying today that we've both been having technical difficulties with our brains the past few days. not quite going through.
Yes, there's been a lot of user error the last few days. This time I swallowed the water wrong. Okay, all right. Sorry about that.
And you passed it on to me. There we go. Oh. All right. Let's do. How about we 268 in. We'll stay in Voices United.
268.
268. Bring many names. Andy, is that water that you have? Oh, curses.
Do you want a fisherman's friend or anything?
I totally do. Got one eye watering. Thank you.
Okay.
We're a comedy program tonight, too. All right.
Beautiful and good, celebrating parable and story, holiness and glory, living, loving God. Hail and Hosanna, bring many names, strong Mother God, working night and day, planning all the wonders of creation, setting each equation, genius at play. Hail and Hosanna, strong Mother God, warm Father God, hugging every child, healing all the strings of human living, caring and forgiving, till we're reconciled. Hail and Hosanna, holding the God, old aching God, grave with endless care, calmly piercing evils to discard. falsehood and unkindness, crying out for justice, giving all you have. Hail and Hosanna, young growing God, great living God, never fully known, joyful darkness far beyond our seeing, closer yet than breathing, everlasting home. Hail and Hosanna, great living God.
I almost forgot about the verses on the other page. All right. What we got there? Well, let's do. We'll change books.
Okay.
And why don't we do number 10 in More Voices?
10 and more voices. Come
Come
and
and
seek
seek.
the ways of wisdom.
Give wisdom.
10 and more voices.
Okay, change the key. There we go.
Come and seek the ways of wisdom. She who danced when earth was new. Follow closely what she teaches. All her words are right and true. Wisdom clears its path to justice, showing us what love must do. Listen to the voice of wisdom, crying in the marketplace. Hear the word made flesh among us, full of glory, truth, and grace. When the word takes root and ripens, peace and righteousness embrace. Sister wisdom, come assist us, nurture all who seek rebirth. Spirit guide and close companion, bring to light our sacred worth. Free us to become your people, holy friends of God and earth.
Lovely. All right, well, we're going to sing one more and then perhaps final blessing.
Okay.
So if you have another request that you want us to fit in, now's your time. Let's flip to number 40 in More Voices. Never Ending Joy. Something we can be reminded of. If we may not be feeling it. Thank you, Andy. I'm good now. I know, rude.
Never-ending joy, never-ending joy, never-ending joy. Never-ending joy, never-ending joy, never-ending joy. God of every tribe, every language, God of every river and sea, God of every mountain and valley, you bring joy to me. Never-ending joy, never-ending joy, never-ending every footstep, you bring joy to me. Never-ending joy, never-ending joy, never-ending joy, never-ending joy, never-ending joy, never-ending joy.
Nice, lovely.
Good times. All right, did I get? Nope, there we go. We've had all our lovely requests.
Okay. Do a little blessing. What's our last?
Our last hymn is number 282 in Voices United, Long Before the Night, This Ancient Love.
So that works in well with our blessing from John O'Donohue. Carolyn McDade's words are always kind of mystically oriented, as are John O'Donohue's. And this is from his book, To Bless the Space Between Us, and this is his blessing for Vespers. And this is kind of our Vespers, our gathering worship in the evening. In the late evening, it's called Compline, but in the early evening, it's called Vespers. As light departs, earth be one with night. Silence deepens in the mind, and thoughts grow slow. The basket of twilight brims over with colors gathered from within the secret meadows of the day and offered like blessings to the gathering tenebrae. After the day's frenzy, may the heart grow still, gracious in thought for all the day brought, surprises that dawn could never have dreamed, the blue silence that came to still the mind, the quiver of mystery at the edge of a glimpse, the golden echoes of worlds behind voices. Tense faces unhide what gripped the heart, the abrupt cut of a glance or a word that hurt, the flame of longing that distance darkened, bouquets of memory gathered on the heart's altar, the thorns of absence in the rose of dream. And the whole while the unknown underworld of the mind turning slowly in its secret orbit. May the blessing of sleep bring refreshment and release. And the angel of the moon call the rivers of dream to soften the hardened earth of the outside life, disentangle from the trapped nets the hurt and sorrow, and awaken the young soul for the new tomorrow. Amen.
Thank you all for watching and for requesting things. Yes, so we're going to end the evening with number 282, Voices United, Long Before the Night.
Long before child, there was a song. This ancient love was born. Long before the name of God was spoken, long before the cross was nailed from the tree, long before she laid her arm of God across the sky, there was a love, this ancient love was born. Wakeful are the nights and slumbers of morning. Stubborn is the grass, sowing green wounded hills. As we wrap our healing arms to hold what her arms held, this ancient love, this aching love rose on.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. We bid you all a good night and many blessings.